What is up, guys? It's your boy Mo. Now, today we're back again on another video. Today we're reacting to a video called Horrors on LinkedIn. Horrors of LinkedIn, actually. My fault. I don't know if I might misinterpret what the fuck that shit just said. But yo, it's kinda crazy. I might actually misinterpret what that shit just said. But yeah, let's get into this joint. I ain't recording in like a whole day. You know what I'm saying? But hey, let's get into it. You know what I'm saying? Oh I didn't even mean to do that. Yo, that gotta go. That gotta go. Wait, that gotta go. That gotta go. I did not mean to do that, y'all. Let me get my joint back real quick. Delete. Boom. Boom. I did not mean to do that. Wait. Alright, we good. Alright, let's get to the video.
LinkedIn is weird. You probably haven't ever thought about it. After all, it's not really designed to be an enjoyable platform, and as such, most people only ever log in when they have to. For me, LinkedIn only ever entered my life when I was between jobs. Otherwise, my profile remained inactive. Some people use it while they're actively employed, but usually because the networking the platform enables is a part of their job in some way, or they maintain a presence with the intention of furthering a career in some fashion. Either way, the culture on LinkedIn revolves around the corporate caricatures of ourselves we present to the professional world, that version of us that genuinely enjoys bringing value to stakeholders. All social media revolves around deception in some way, but usually it's more about presenting an idealized version of yourself. Not necessarily lying, but rather just not showing everything. Only the good parts of yourself
I'm not
and
even
your
saying
life. The culture on LinkedIn, on the other hand, is specifically centered around lying. It's about the false enthusiasm you have to bring into the workplace. You don't care about making
Alright, get to the video, buddy.
For more money, yet that's the attitude you have to bring to LinkedIn. This has made the platform feel much more fake than any other, to the point of being uncanny when you actually sit down and analyze it. Everybody has the same smiling headshot as their profile picture. Everybody writes in the same learned, confident voice. Everything just kind of bleeds into each other and nothing at all sticks out. It's like driving through a forest and trying to keep track of the passing trees. Despite this monotony, there's a lot to talk about with LinkedIn. The platform itself both operates very strangely and has endured many controversies over the years, the latest being a cybercrime problem that might be the largest out of any I've seen on any platform. Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base44. There's also the LinkedIn addicts, the only honest people on the platform who are dangerously fanatical about it. Oh, and there's also the cults, but before we get to that, we've got to take a look at a single profile. Let me introduce you to Aegon Chalakian. On the surface, this profile looks like any other, one intended for a seemingly pretty educated and accomplished person. But the closer you look at it, the weirder things get. You wouldn't see it on a surface glance, but this page is an entry point into an insane rabbit hole that reaches both outside of LinkedIn and the internet itself, into a world of geopolitics that make conspiracy theories look like weekly weather forecasts. You see, Aegon is not a real person. Except he is. He's a flesh and blood human being. But he also doesn't exist. Not in the way a normal person does, at least. Yeah, it involves AI, but it's much more than that. He's connected to a real-world shady organization that has connections in the White House, while at the same time explores esoteric practices that directly deal with the supernatural. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's take a closer look at Aegon's profile. He has over 6,000 connections, but then again, he is a registered federal lobbyist for the American government, which would warrant such a large network of people. He's held that position since 2023, and around the same time, he apparently became a US registered foreign agent as well, which means that he's likely lobbying on the behalf of some foreign organization or state. Things start becoming stranger when you explore his education section. He appears to be currently enrolled in many different programs and many different prestigious schools, including the Harvard School of Business, MIT School of Management, the Wharton School in Pennsylvania, ESADA in Spain, Stanford School of Engineering, Oxford School of Business, Berkeley School of Law, MIT School of Engineering. I don't think I have to list them all, but in total, Aegon is currently enrolled in 26 different programs at universities in several countries. His work history beyond his current job as a White House lobbyist is just as bizarre as his education. He's worked with the European Parliament, the Ukraine Project, and CERN.
Nah, let's be real, bro. Nobody is attending that many colleges. Let's be... I don't know what the fuck wrong with Cuz, but hey.
He papers as a particle physicist, and apparently has won multiple awards for it. His longest job, however, was as a consultant in the executive office, where he worked for 56 years. This might seem like some weird joke. A fake LinkedIn profile somebody set up with as many qualifications as possible. But this couldn't be further from the truth. If you search Egon Chalakian on Google, you'll find several articles published by mainstream media talking about a video address he made warning humanity of a possible extinction event caused by something called the Siberian magma plume. This particular piece was published by the Globe and Mail, a well-respected and prestigious newspaper here in Canada. But there is something weird about this article. You'll notice at the top a disclaimer that explains to the reader that the following write-up is a press release published by a third party and is paid content that hasn't been reviewed by the Globe and Mail. Strange. The article also makes several pleas for the international community to release the restrictions they placed on an organization known as Allatra. Keep that name in mind. Other than these articles, which mostly seem to focus on the same press release we just talked about, there's not really a whole lot else out there about Mr. Chalakian. There's a profile on a site called academia.edu that features much of the same content as his LinkedIn profile. But you should keep in mind that just like LinkedIn, anybody can make an academia page. He also apparently has an account on YouTube, and this is where things get even more bizarre. His channel is called Earth Save Science Collective, and he's uploaded many long videos. And I don't mean like an hour or 2 hours, no. His longest video is a whopping 8.5 hours long. It's called The Impact Documentary, and the whole thing seems to have been generated with AI, both the voiceover and the visuals, with the main narrator being an AI version of Egon dressed up as George Washington. The documentary warns of a powerful hidden enemy that's supposedly tirelessly working to dismantle global democracy using informational terrorism, with their end goal being to force a second civil war in the USA and establish a new world order. It's all standard alarmist conspiracy theory nonsense, but it also makes frequent and odd mentions of anti-cult organizations, and how legitimate institutions like the EU's FECRIS are actually somehow promoting terrorism by advocating for anti-cult attitudes in mainstream society. The other videos on Egon's channel appear to also be aided by AI in some way, like this video titled The Crossroads, where he eerily speaks for 3.5 hours straight without moving an inch. I said in the intro this video that Egon doesn't exist, but he also does. That's true. These videos contain Egon's presence, but they also don't really depict a human. They're obviously mostly generated with AI in some manner. Egon is a living, breathing person, though. Also on YouTube, you can find a televised interview he did at a 2024 UN climate conference, which involves no AI and proves that he is indeed a real person, one that's accomplished and respected enough to be in the position to do a TV interview at a UN event. But his education history also can't be real, and there's barely any information about this supposedly important public figure on the internet outside a few recent paid press releases, a bunch of weird AI-generated YouTube videos, and of course his LinkedIn profile. What is going on?
Nah, that AI-generated video, but that joint a vid, bro. Why the fuck he was moving like that?
The further you go down. If we go to the website linked on his YouTube channel, you'll find a gallery of photos that shows Egon with various prestigious people.
Is that nigga a real person? That's the question.
But again, as you look closer, things start to seem off. In this picture of Egon with a Harvard economics professor, you can see that the books in the background don't seem to have legible writing on the spines. They're either blank or have nonsense scribbles written on them. The most damning example is this photo showing Chalakian with his supposed colleagues, Maria Zuber, the vice president of research at MIT, and also an astronaut named Kate Rubins. There's clear evidence that both Maria and Kate were completely doctored into this photo. The real picture of them is this one, which comes from an MIT article and does not contain Egon at all. You can line up Maria and Kate perfectly between both of these photos, and Egon's doctored version is likely created with AI, judging on the smeary ChatGPT look of the image.
Work today.
Okay, let's not do this, bro. Like,
every day, people juggle so many
go
different
the fuck away,
tools
man.
just
Go
to
away,
get
please.
work done.
Chalakian's website also makes frequent mention of Allatra, that mysterious organization that seems to follow him around anywhere he is on the internet. And it's here where things really go off the deep end. ALLATRA presents itself as a volunteer-driven international public movement focused on studying natural disasters, geodynamic changes, and promoting discussions to solve the global climate crisis. They supposedly have participants in more than 180 countries, most of whom are scientists, experts, and other professionals. Again, like everything we've talked about so far, this all seems fairly normal on the surface. But not everything is as it seems. ALLATRA is based in Ukraine, and in 2023, their headquarters were raided by the military. Why? Because the organization, who the Ukrainian government had labeled an extremist cult, had been promoting Russian propaganda, specifically stating that all Slavic people were destined to come together and form a single state who would be commanded by a savior-like figure, one who greatly resembled Vladimir Putin. In the raid, the authorities would seize Russian propaganda literature, documents depicting occult symbolism, portraits of Putin, large amounts of Russian currency, and several firearms. You might assume that this is some Russian-backed propaganda machine, but things get even weirder if you can believe it. In June 2025, Russia themselves would also label ALLATRA as an extremist sect and would order all their activities to cease in the country. It's pretty rare for both Ukraine and Russia to agree on anything. Just what exactly was this group doing? Let's back up a second. When Ukraine raided ALLATRA, they called it a cult, and they also found occult art and literature on the compound. They also found this, a big glass pyramid with a chair inside. This is where we start diving into esoterica.
Niggas a time traveler.
Believes in the supernatural. Specifically, they purport that humans have an innate ability to communicate telepathically, one that's never been properly unlocked. This energy pyramid device is part of an experiment set up by the sect to prove that humans can do this.
We have gathered here today to conduct the first international pyramid experiment, the goal of which is to determine the possibility of transmitting information telepathically at a distance. We will choose one of the symbols randomly. The operator will look and memorize this symbol, and then, at 5 p.m. GMT, she will go into the pyramid and will be transmitting this symbol for half an hour.
ALLATRA made a whole video outlining this experiment. A woman is presented with a selection of 12 visual symbols. She chooses one and memorizes it. Then she gets into the pyramid and begins using it to transmit the symbol telepathically. She does this for 30 minutes. While she's transmitting, 1,100 participants around the world attempt to receive the communication and submit the symbol they think is being transmitted. Supposedly, the experiment was a success, and the correct symbol was the most commonly chosen option. Look, I could go on for a long time about ALLATRA. There's been accusations of SA against its founder, allegations of harassment, threats, and smear campaigns against its critics, but this video is about LinkedIn. We kinda got away from that. Let's write it down. Egon Chalakian is a mysterious man to pin down. Everything he does seems to be half lies and half truths. But one thing he most certainly is a foreign agent lobbyist in the White House working for ALLATRA. That's true. You can find publicly available proof of that on the internet. His other activities and qualifications, though, are questionable. In the 1970s, the SEC issued a violation order against Chalakian for misrepresenting his education and employment history. And remember those academic papers he posted to his LinkedIn? They weren't written by him. They were stolen from a scientist with a similar name, Arpane Chalakian. He also claimed to have worked for CERN. When asked about it, CERN came back and said that they had never heard of him. Almost everything surrounding this guy has been proven to be fake or just unsubstantiated, except for the fact that he is indeed a lobbyist working on the behalf of ALLATRA. Egon is not the only person connected to ALLATRA in the White House. Pastor Mark Burns, Donald Trump's personal spiritual advisor, is a member of ALLATRA. There's a video and article on their website where he repeats many of Egon's talking points, alleging that the anti-cult movement is actively harming people. Again, this is the President of the United States' personal spiritual advisor repeating the talking points of a cult that believes in human telepathy. To wrap this up, here's my personal theory. And to be clear, this is just my opinion, so take it with a grain of salt. Judging based on the contradicting information and substantiated evidence of multiple cases of falsified credentials, you could fairly assess Egon as a sort of con man. I think he was picked up at some point in the last couple of years by ALLATRA, and they helped fill in the blanks to make him come off like some important figure, which is evidenced by the very little information about him that exists outside his lengthy LinkedIn profile. They then used him, a native-born American, to act on their behalf as a lobbyist in the White House. The agenda he's pushing likely reflects the talking points you can gather from his AI-generated YouTube videos. Climate catastrophes, impending doomsdays, and putting an end to anti-cult attitudes around the world. As for Alatra themselves and what their motivations may be, I have no idea. As much as I'd like to get into that, it would be a whole other video on its own. Aegon Chalakian's profile on LinkedIn remains one of the strangest on the site. It reflects a man that only half exists, one that is made of flesh and blood, but not in the history he claims to have. He can be seen with your eyes, but most of what you can see of him are AI fabrications. The only real thing about this man is his advocacy for a bizarre and powerful cult. Believe it or not, Aegon is not the only fake person we're going to talk about today, and Alatra is not the only cult either. LinkedIn is full of weird things, and I'm surprised people don't talk about it more often. Like I said, it operates much differently than other social media platforms. And when it comes to terminally online social media addicts, LinkedIn fanatics in particular are very unusual.
Would you be happy if you stayed where you are in life and job forever? If the answer is yes, then this video is not for you. But
Get out of here, bro.
When you imagine a typical terminally online social media user, the archetype likely varies depending on the platform you're thinking of. An Instagram addict might be an inspiring influencer, someone who tries to present their life in an exaggerated manner, acting more rich and successful than they actually are. A typical Twitter addict, in my mind, is inseparably tied to politics, either a groiper or a tanky with a bunch of flags next to their username, both sides constantly spouting off insane opinions that have been shaped by the false online reality they live in. Your average Facebook addict is a boomer conspiracy theorist who isn't very good with technology and likely engages with AI-generated content. Either way, regardless of how unhinged your everyday social media addict may seem, they're still using their respective platforms in the way they were intended to be used. Like it or not, social media in general was specifically designed to be as intrusive in people's lives as possible. The individuals who run these platforms want you to become insane and deep.
That nigga's ugly as shit, bro. Who ain't that nigga named like Mark Zuckerberg or something? Like
you in as much as possible. LinkedIn, on the other hand,
Elon?
is
That's
not a
Elon. I don't know.
conventional social
I don't know
media
who the fuck
platform.
that nigga is.
It's not designed around spouting off personal opinions or being used for fun at all, really. It's not social media. It's professional networking media. As such, you wouldn't expect it to be as addictive as other social networking platforms. At least not on the surface. When the platform first launched in the early 2000s, it filled a gap that hadn't been addressed previously by any platform at the time. It combined job listings with some light social media features like profiles and connections.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. This seemed really like very much like what you call that shit. It got something to do with like Democrats and all that type of shit. I don't like this video. I'm not even gonna lie. That's what it seemed like. I think I'm gonna watch another joint called Horrors Found on Abandoned YouTube Channels. By Something Sinister. That's the channel name. I think y'all should go check him out, I guess. I ain't even gonna lie. But yeah, we finna get into this video. I think this one is a little interesting. I should have really did my research before I looked at the other video. That shit was garbage. It was all democratic and shit.
The old familiar rooms of TinyChat, a once very popular video chat website where users would get together and hang out for hours. For many, it was rooms like this where countless happy memories were made.
Yo, y'all remember when the
Despite
PCs used to like
this,
that, bro?
what seems like a harmless screen recording
I'm not
of a
about
young
when they
girl
still give up
singing
their
to
vibe.
her friends
You see how it
carries with it something much darker. In early 2013, a number of strange uploads would begin appearing on a small YouTube channel by the name of Beaverfox. These uploads contained footage of an unseen cameraman talking and interacting with a number of life-size dolls.
Oh, isn't she beautiful? Oh my, she's so pretty. Huh? Wow. Anyway, here she is. We've got her turned over. I'm gonna take a
What the
closer
fuck are
look
we
at
watching?
her.
Wait a damn minute,
As the
man.
uploads continue, the cameraman can eventually be seen cutting apart and disassembling his beloved dolls, and in some cases, using the plastic limbs as extensions of his own body. But these videos with the dolls
He
would
did
be
what?
far from the strangest uploaded to the channel.
Awaken to a
Wait, I
world
ain't
of
gonna lie, we
wonder
might really need to pay
in
attention
Final
to
Fantasy
bullshit.
XIV Online. Take it easy and play your way. Whether it's fishing, crafting, or taking on quests. Play solo, or team up with your friends.
Prior to these videos featuring the life-size dolls, it appeared that Beebleffox was working alone. These strange uploads were seemingly nothing more than his own personal art project.
What the fuck is he
or
doing?
ARG. But that wasn't the case.
Hey guys, Beebleffox here. Today I'm going to show you how to get a date. This is me, my shadow.
This nigga gotta be like on a
this is how to get a
spectrum
date.
or something. I don't know.
I saw this girl
Like, what the
walking.
fuck?
I'm just going to stand here. a
It's like the
second.
way he's speaking, you
The
kind
dog
of
is not
tell.
around at the moment, so I'm going to approach her the way that you should if you want
Oh,
to.
this straight out of a horror movie, man.
Okay, here we go. Ma'am? You gotta crouch low like they do in the military. That's what girls like, real manly military man. Ma'am? Ma'am?
Who the fuck told you girls like that? Who told you this shit? Like, what is wrong with this nigga,
Excuse
bro?
me, ma'am. I want to touch you. I really like to touch you. Ma'am! Oh, God.
This upload
Okay.
titled How to Get a Date in
What
Under
the
50
fuck is wrong with
Seconds
this nigga? Who is
signaled a
Cuz?
shift in Beeble's content. It was no longer a solo art project, but instead the effort of Beeble and this mysterious woman. Up until this point, platforms like YouTube were no stranger to the concept of weird art projects or ARGs. It's very clear, especially now in 2026, that the
Man,
early
YouTube was
recordings
weird back then, bro. I guarantee you, they probably was allowing shit that could have been on the dark web on there.
from Beeble follow a lot of the same beats as projects like Nettlebrook or Ash Vlogs. Stories where your seemingly average, ordinary person uses their YouTube to document their unusual life. In the case of Beeble, it was the story of a young man recording his bizarre relationship with these life-size dolls. It's difficult to discern an exact narrative from what remains of Beeble's old videos. It's very clear that he's some type of social outcast that uses the dolls as a form of social and romantic connection. It's hard to say at
This
what
nigga's
point exactly
crazy,
Beeble
bro.
decided to interview
Like, how? Oh my god. I can't even say you're not touching grass, bro. That nigga never touch grass, though,
This
man.
video, How to Get a Date in Under 50 Seconds, was
He
what I
didn't,
thought to
though.
be
He would. He dead ass. I feel like he creeped that woman out. That's why she didn't look back at him the first time. The nigga literally said, "Hey, man," like 3 times, bro, in the beginning. And then not even that. The nigga literally sat here and said, "They like when you do army walk." What the fuck you doing that for?
the earliest upload of the girl on Beeble's channel. This is
Ain't
about
nobody told this
face.
nigga that shit, bro.
Before Beeble began uploading his strange content with the dolls, he would often record videos of himself playing Grand Theft Auto 4. In this particular upload, Beeble shows himself playing the game before zooming out to reveal his bedroom wall, which is covered with various photographs of the girl from the road. This upload, prior to being deleted, was titled Grand Theft Orange Citrus. When doing a bit of research, you'll find that Orange Citrus is the name of the YouTube channel belonging to the girl on the road and on Beeble's wall. At first glance, it appears that this girl, Orange Citrus, is knowingly working with Beeble, crafting a fictional story in which a social outcast develops an unhealthy relationship with a woman he cannot have. But after sifting through the Orange Citrus video archives, there's something much darker at play. Just as Beeble was uploading to his own channel, So was Orange Citrus. Her uploads, at least from what I can tell from what's been recovered, show a young girl having fun and doing random skits in her room. While it's very clear that Beeble is playing some sort of character on his channel with his doll obsession and unsettling whispery voice, there's nothing about Orange Citrus's uploads that would lead you to believe that these two were secretly working together. As it turns out, Beeble and Orange Citrus met on TinyChat, the same aforementioned website that Orange Citrus would visit as a teenager. From here, the two developed a friendship and began Skyping one another regularly. Throughout these conversations, the two devised a plan to create a fictional story across multiple video uploads on each of their YouTube channels, eventually culminating in, I guess, what you could call a crossover event. But Beeble would begin taking things too far. As the fictional story progressed on Beeble's channel, he began recording videos without telling Orange Citrus, videos that were not in line with the story that they had discussed over Skype. One of the videos featured Beeble making a homemade object involving an empty Pringles can and plastic. After Beeble shows the final product to the camera, he cuts out a photograph of Orange Citrus and tapes it to the side of the Pringles can. When Orange Citrus logged onto YouTube the following day, she was shocked to see the explicit video on the Beeble Fox channel. Her online friend had seemingly transformed into someone trying to hurt her.
Did your teenager develop depression, anxiety,
Bro,
or
shut
eating
the
disorders
fuck
after
up, my
becoming
nigga.
addicted
Yo,
to social
get
media?
out of here.
But not only was Orange Citrus disgusted by what she had seen, she was also humiliated. During her time working with Beeble, Orange Citrus had gone on a live stream and stated that the content being created by her and Beeble was entirely fictional. This was prompted after a fellow YouTuber, Scare Theater, made a video discussing the ARG.
Scare Theater did not do any research in this case. In the case of Beeble Fox and me, he did no research, because if he did, he'd have known a long time ago, by watching some of the first videos that Beeble Fox and I did, that it was an ARG.
This moment would come back to haunt Orange Citrus, because while she wasn't wrong in stating that the content was an ARG, she also had no clue that Beeble was going to start posting things like the aforementioned Pringles video. So, what could she do now? If she made an online statement stating that she didn't know that Beeble was going to post something like that, people would just assume that it was a part of their elaborate ARG. She had been effectively trapped in a corner, and Beeble wasn't going to hold back. Along with the Pringles video, Beeble also supposedly created a 3D simulation in which he and Orange Citrus engage in adult activity. This was then posted to the Beeble Fox channel. In another live stream, Orange Citrus claims that Beeble would send her outfits in the mail. He then would request that she try them on and send him videos and pictures. All of these actions had never been discussed between the two on Skype. As time went on, Orange Citrus began coming into contact with others who had fallen into Beeble's trap, and together they would begin speaking out. When visiting the Orange Citrus YouTube channel today, her description calls out Beeble, whose real name is Matthew. When navigating over to the community tab, there are dozens of posts regarding Beeble, Matthew, and the situation. All of Orange Citrus's old videos have since been removed on her channel, leaving behind a graveyard of old home videos. As for Beeble's channel, it has been completely abandoned, a mere shell of what it once was. As of making this video, YouTube is home to roughly 115 million channels. Out of these 115, only 60 million are reported to be active. This leaves a whopping 55 million abandoned channels left behind and forgotten. But just as the Beebleffox channel appeared to be lost to time, there were actually a number of YouTube channels throughout that 55 million figure that have a disturbing story to tell. But before we move on to the next abandoned channel, if you like the video so far and you would like to see more like it, please make sure to let me know down in the comments, and please be sure to subscribe to Something Sinister. Somewhere in the dark corners of YouTube is a channel known as Little Miss Kit. The channel, which was created in 2007, features Kit as she goes on adventures with her friends and makes various YouTube skits.
You know this, we've lost the hell. No, it could be anywhere. I mean, let's walk down here. Maybe it's down here. No, it's not over there. Where's the car? Can't see it anywhere.
That's what are you talking about?
This upload of Kit looking for her car in a large empty parking garage would gain over 100,000 views. By 2007 YouTube standards, this was very impressive. Kit's audience would continue to grow over the course of the year. During this time, she uploaded a total of 15 videos. But following 2007, the channel would be abandoned. Towards the end of her uploads, Kit's videos featured her and her friends, all of which were part of a community known as Nerd Fighters. This was a community created by the Green Brothers, which encouraged individuals to take pride in what others may consider to be unpopular or nerdy behavior. Unfortunately, this was part of the reason why Kit had become so popular. Her audience, with some exceptions, was full of individuals watching Kit's videos with the intent of making fun of her. If it wasn't for her nerdy interests, it was because of her physical appearance. Nowadays, the comment section has been removed on all of Kit's uploads, but I can only imagine what anonymous users back in 2007 were saying about
She's smart. She can turn that into money.
Let me show you why I stopped paying for all my other sample libraries. This is all paid.
Go ahead, bro.
This thing has SAP.
Regardless, Kit would keep uploading throughout the duration of 2007. One of her videos was even in response to a viewer who was looking for advice regarding bullying.
It's true that you should be very careful what you say to people, not so much because the words themselves have a lot of power, but it's more the kind of the thoughts and feelings and the images that it kind of brings in your mind. They have more power.
This upload stood out, as the rest of Kit's videos were very lighthearted. It was one of the few times where we got to see the serious, genuine side of Kit. But unfortunately, it would only increase the number of trolls visiting her channel. Kit would upload her final video to Little Miss Kit in January of 2008. The video itself was a music mashup with footage of a hamster, edited to make it look like
She's
the
weird as
hamster was
fuck, bro.
dancing
What?
to the music. Very on brand for the time.
This what we doing, bro?
But after this upload, the Little Miss Kit channel came to a standstill. And naturally, Kit's viewers started to wonder what happened to her. It was around this time when rumors started floating around online that the countless negative comments under each of Kit's videos had finally gone down. Perhaps she quit the channel entirely, or maybe something worse happened. The true nature of Kit's disappearance would be revealed later that year. As internet investigators began searching for the missing YouTuber, they came across another channel, one that was home to Kit's actual final upload. This 9-second video was the only upload posted to the Little Miss Kit response account. In it, Kit appears to blow the camera a kiss, signaling a final farewell. Unfortunately, this video wouldn't help lower suspicions that the reason Kit was no longer posting videos was because she was dead.
So yes, I'm excited about Christmas. Bouncy. Not so much because of presents. Don't really know what
Bro, if she's smart, she could have turned that into money and then, yeah.
Don't really want anything really. Oh, there's a few things I want.
We're supposed to use that shit as motivation. Y'all be having the wrong, like,
Mainly I'm just looking forward to
I don't know,
visiting
man.
work, seeing my family, and getting rather drunk. Why not?
As time went on, former viewers of Little Miss Kid continued to check back on the channel to see if Kid had returned, but each time they would be met with the same abandoned channel. But then something happened. Users typing in Little Miss Kid into their search bars were met with a number of video results, all paying tribute to Kid. These results more often than not had RIP in the title, alluding to the fact that she had truly passed.
I want to believe it. I want to say that didn't happen. That's all some big joke. And that she's really just laughing all us. You know, but she wouldn't do that. You know, this is real. She's really gone.
I know you can't see this because you're at peace now. And I'm happy you're at peace. And all your troubles are over. I just want to say that I loved you so much.
Initially, some users believed that these farewell videos were being created by trolls, the same people who would relentlessly bully Kid in her comments.
Especially this nigga, bro. Hell no. Yo, what's going on with this man Cybers? That can't be real, bro.
This wasn't the case. The individuals uploading these videos weren't trolls or people who had heard of Kid's passing through. These were members of Kid's Nerdfighter community, individuals who spoke to Kid on a regular basis and were now mourning the sudden death of their friend. It was also around this time when the description on the Little Miss Kid YouTube channel was changed. To all the friends of Little Miss Kid, we don't normally use YouTube, so we are using our late daughter's site for the last time to send this message to you. Thank you for all the messages following the death of our daughter, who you knew as Little Miss Kid. The family then goes on to thank Jessica, which is one of Kid's close friends. They follow this up by stating that they are so thankful for everyone who had been a part of Kid's life, and that her memory will live on through these people.
Damn, that was in 2008?
It's not too difficult to find Kid's
The camera
cause of
quality is so
death.
bad. I was thinking that was like
According to
20,
her
like
and
2002 or
those
some
who
shit.
knew
I don't know.
Kid had been a victim of verbal harassment for most of her life. This was exacerbated by her online presence. By putting herself out there in the world, she became a target. And in the end, it became too much for her. This outcome makes the final video from Kit all the more haunting.
We have got to the point.
Okay, y'all be doing this nigga seriously trying to get paid, bro. Take these ads off, my nigga. What are you doing?
In the early 2000s, the idea of a seemingly average person like Kid blowing up and gaining followers was a completely new thing.
I missed that logo.
When
I'm gonna really
YouTube
say
entered
that.
the picture
I remember
in
that, y'all.
2005, it opened the floodgates for content creators. Suddenly, anyone had the opportunity to go viral overnight. This led to a founding generation of creators who would pave the way for future YouTubers. Back then, you didn't have to have the most expensive equipment.
Yo, I used to clown that nigga so bad, bro.
software in order to get a following. When it came to users like Hannah Mix, many fell in love with her for her bubbly personality.
Teflon is used like every 5 seconds in speaking Japanese, so you better learn it. Teflon sounds great.
Okay, I ain't gonna lie, your girlfriend T, but she need to take up the cat ears, bro. I'm just being real.
Students.
Don't ever do no shit like that, bro. Like, the fuck?
The lyrics in the song are Utsuru de. So verbs ending in utsuru take the form of te. She says te.
Hannah's videos consisted of her teaching her audience how to speak Japanese, as well as
That's
about
tough.
the nuances of Japanese culture and anime. But when visiting Hannah's channel today, it sits completely abandoned. Like the other channels we've covered so far, all of the videos on the Hannah Minx channel have been taken down completely. There's no definitive first upload or final upload. It's completely empty. According to references online, the channel was once home to an estimated 126 uploads. These videos now only exist through the Internet Archive and through re-uploads from various fans of Hannah's content. Unbeknownst to fans at the time, Hannah's final upload would be posted to her channel sometime in 2013. This was an upload like the rest, not a goodbye or anything to indicate what was to come.
I just wasn't expecting that, yo.
This time when viewers began to speculate that Hannah had been kidnapped or died. Even some of Hannah's friends on YouTube were confused by her sudden disappearance. Onision, who Hannah had collaborated
Bro, you
with,
gotta understand, bro. What these basically consist of is just people disappearing from the internet. And I'm basically saying this, that could be the case. Maybe they died, or maybe they just moved on with their life. Cause I remember this one time, right, during that YouTube, like during the era of YouTube in 2016, where the exploring abandoned buildings and shit, like that shit was like mainstream. It was just every single video was going viral. And there was this one boy I used to watch, V-Jama, and there was this other book called Carnage or something like that, right? And I remember out of nowhere, I used to just be looking for that nigga videos every single day. He used to literally explore abandoned places. Those were my favorite videos. He would literally have a channel for that. Abandoned places and pranks. Them, like his content, bro, was actually tough as shit, bro. I'm trying to tell you. So I remember one time the nigga stopped uploading for like 2 years. I'm checking that joint like every single day. Boom. This nigga upload, like, you know how y'all be checking Curious Kenshin and shit, trying to see if he uploaded and all that. It was like that, right? And then while I had Filmbu on Instagram, right? Go on there, and next thing you know, this nigga started filming. He just disappeared off of YouTube, started a whole film. That shit crazy. I ain't even gonna lie. But hey, this is what it is. It's life, bro. You know what I'm saying? But that couldn't, bro, there's nothing that should really make you quit being like a YouTuber or a streamer or something like that, bro. If you have a lot of fans, bro, that's your money. Y'all niggas allergic to money. I think that's what it is.
on multiple occasions,
Upload something.
posted a video in
If you ain't gonna
April
upload something once a month. Once every 2 months. Once every 3 months.
2014, stating that despite his efforts to reach out to Hannah, she had gone completely silent. It wouldn't be until 2021 when all of Hannah's uploads on her channel began disappearing.
All for what?
With the help of users on Reddit, a definitive timeline was created to aid in the investigation. This timeline found that Hannah's final upload to YouTube, as well as her final Facebook post and final tweet, all took place on October 13th of 2013. During this time, she was attending the New York Comic Con. This is where rumors that Hannah had been kidnapped really started to gain traction.
I think the nigga just did that.
There was a young, attractive woman who had gained an online following in a setting that she was not totally familiar with.
I could definitely see it though. Sometimes I'll be like, damn, why y'all be kidnapping these bitches? Then it'd be like, damn. I know exactly why too, bro.
Investigators
like, you got some weird people out here, and then you gotta think about that. You gotta think about them, and then the weird people game. It's like it don't go together. So it's like fuck it.
Various different obituary sites. This
That shit
attempt
tragic,
was
bro.
ultimately unsuccessful in finding a match, and with that, the investigation went cold. But then came a revelation. This photograph of Hannah would soon begin circulating. The man standing next to her in the picture was someone Hannah's fans didn't recognize. The picture would eventually be addressed by one of Hannah's close friends, a YouTuber named Victor.
So she's married, yeah, big news. So congratulations around here. Don't know any details. A lot of people have been like asking about her, but obviously she's a girl woman. Obviously she doesn't want to make videos anymore. That's fine. So good for her anyway. Most important that she's happy. That's great.
According to Victor, the man in the photograph standing next to Hannah is her husband. Initially, many people thought that it was strange that Hannah had never brought up a relationship.
I've been trying to tell y'all she ran off and started her life, gang. People do that. Was I not right about that, y'all?
After all, on top of her Japanese-themed videos, Hannah was a vlogger. She actively brought people along with her through her day-to-day life. But unfortunately, this is all a byproduct of being an online creator. Sometimes, as an audience member, you think that you know the person on the other side of the screen, when in reality, they're just another stranger. Following the news that Hannah had gotten married, there were supposedly a number of photos circulating on Facebook showing that she was pregnant. I personally have not been able to verify any of these claims.
Does Kyrie text you back?
I literally sat here and told y'all, gang, like, that's the type of shit that goes on, bruh.
To this day,
She let
no
go
one
of
exactly
YouTube, bro.
knows why Hannah chose to leave her channel as abruptly as she did. It's widely accepted that she did in fact get married, possibly had a child, and then decided that she didn't want to do YouTube anymore. After all, many of the comments on her videos were from men making inappropriate remarks about her appearance.
What?
I can't imagine that that's something you'd want to surround yourself with when trying to settle down and raise a family. Regardless, I hope Hannah is happy wherever she is today. It's hard to say for certain exactly why she, or whoever had access to her account, decided to remove all of her uploads. The Internet Archive is now home to many of these re-uploads, including Hannah's final video where she went to Comic-Con. Without this, as well as the other individuals re-uploading her content, the story of this abandoned channel might have fallen into complete obscurity. If you made it to the end of this video, I sincerely appreciate it.
Oh, that's the end of the video? Damn.
This video was a lot of fun to do, as sort of, I guess, depressing as it was. I really...
So how was that horrifying? What the fuck you include this shit for, bro? But anyways, though, I ain't even complaining, y'all. That's the end of the video. I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow or the day after. Y'all know I'll be busy with Ramadan and all that. So I get to y'all when I get to y'all. But anyways, though, y'all be safe out there. We out. We dipping.